1 in 3 new cars sold globally will be a hybrid by 2030. Not an electric vehicle. Not a traditional gasoline car. A hybrid. And yet most people buying them right now have almost no idea how they actually work under the hood or whether the fuel savings they are promised will ever actually show up in their bank account. In the next 10 minutes, you are going to get a complete breakdown of hybrid technology from the ground up. How the system actually works, why some hybrids save you far more money than others, and the one critical factor that most dealerships will never mention when they are pitching you on that shiny new hybrid badge. By the end, you will know exactly whether a hybrid makes financial sense for your specific situation or whether you are about to make a very expensive mistake. Hybrid cars have been around longer than most people realize. The concept of combining an internal combustion engine with an electric motor actually dates back to 1900, when Ferdinand Porsche, yes, that Porsche, built the Lohner Porsche Mixed, a gasoline-electric hybrid carriage. The idea was brilliant, but the technology of the era could not support it commercially, and it was quietly shelved for nearly a century. The modern hybrid era truly began in 1997 when Toyota launched the Prius in Japan. It hit American shores in 2000 and changed the conversation about automotive efficiency forever. At the time, fuel efficiency in a midsize car topped out around 30 miles per gallon on the highway. The Prius delivered 48 miles per gallon combined. People thought Toyota had performed some kind of engineering miracle. In reality, they had simply solved the energy waste problem that gasoline cars had been ignoring for 100 years. So what exactly is that problem? A traditional internal combustion engine converts fuel into motion, but it is spectacularly inefficient at doing it. The average gasoline engine only converts about 20 to 40% of the fuel energy into actual movement. The rest is lost as heat through the exhaust, through friction, and through braking. Every single time you press the brake pedal in a conventional car, you are converting kinetic energy directly into heat and throwing it away. That energy cost you money at the pump. And it just disappeared into the atmosphere. This is the core problem that hybrid technology solves. A hybrid drivetrain captures that wasted energy and puts it back to work. The system works through a process called regenerative braking. When you press the brake pedal, instead of simply clamping friction pads against a rotor and generating heat, the electric motor runs in reverse and acts as a generator. It converts that kinetic energy back into electricity and stores it in the battery pack. That stored electricity is then used to power the electric motor and assist the gasoline engine during acceleration, the moment when the engine demands the most fuel. But here is what nobody talks about when hybrid technology is explained at a basic level. There are actually 3 fundamentally different types of hybrid systems, and they perform very differently depending on how and where you drive. The first type is called a mild hybrid. This is the simplest and least expensive system. A mild hybrid uses a small electric motor to assist the engine but cannot propel the vehicle on electricity alone. It reduces the load on the engine and improves efficiency by maybe 10 to 15%. Many manufacturers use this label aggressively in their marketing, so it is worth checking exactly what type of system a vehicle has before assuming you will see dramatic fuel savings. The second type is a full hybrid, sometimes called a parallel hybrid. This is what you find in the Toyota Prius, the Toyota Camry Hybrid, and the Honda Accord Hybrid. A full hybrid can run on the electric motor alone at low speeds, on the gasoline engine alone at highway speeds, and on both simultaneously during hard acceleration. The system constantly and automatically optimizes which power source is being used without any input from the driver. This is where regenerative braking truly shines, because low-speed stop-and-go driving generates repeated braking events and allows the battery to stay charged through normal use. The third type is a plug-in hybrid, often abbreviated PHEV. A plug-in hybrid has a significantly larger battery pack and can be charged from an external power source, a home outlet, a workplace charger, or a public charging station. Most plug-in hybrids offer between 20 and 50 miles of pure electric range before the gasoline engine activates. If your daily commute falls within that electric range and you charge every night, you could theoretically drive for weeks without using a drop of gasoline. Here is where the real-world math gets genuinely interesting. The fuel savings from a hybrid depend almost entirely on your driving pattern. This is the factor that dealerships consistently gloss over during a sales pitch. A full hybrid in pure city driving can achieve fuel economy improvements of 30 to 50% compared to a gasoline equivalent. The constant stopping and starting is exactly what the regenerative braking system was built for. But take that same hybrid onto a long open highway and the efficiency advantage shrinks dramatically, sometimes down to just 10 to 15%, because there is very little braking happening to recharge the battery. The Toyota RAV4 Hybrid is one of the most instructive examples. The gasoline RAV4 averages around 30 miles per gallon combined. The hybrid version averages around 40 miles per gallon combined. Over 15,000 miles of annual driving, at current average gas prices around $3.50 per gallon, that difference represents savings of roughly $350 to $400 per year. The RAV4 Hybrid typically carries a price premium of about $2,500 to $3,000 over its gasoline counterpart. Simple math puts your payback period at roughly 6 to 8 years, assuming gas prices stay flat, which historically they never do. But here is a critical nuance that completely changes the equation. Hybrid vehicles also tend to have lower brake wear costs over time because regenerative braking reduces the mechanical load on the physical brake pads and rotors. Toyota has documented Prius owners going well over 100,000 miles before needing brake pad replacement, compared to 30,000 to 50,000 miles in a conventional vehicle. Over the lifetime of a car, that difference can represent hundreds of dollars in maintenance savings on top of the fuel savings. What about the battery? The fear of hybrid battery replacement is one of the most persistent myths in automotive ownership. Early hybrid batteries from the early 2000s did fail more frequently. Modern hybrid battery packs are a fundamentally different technology. Toyota covers their hybrid battery with an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty. In California and several other states that follow California emission standards, that warranty extends to 10 years or 150,000 miles. Real-world data from high-mileage Prius owners consistently shows battery packs lasting 200,000 to 300,000 miles with no replacement. The battery fear is largely outdated. Now let us address the plug-in hybrid question directly. A plug-in hybrid is worth it if and only if you actually plug it in regularly. Studies from the International Council on Clean Transportation found that plug-in hybrid owners who charge frequently achieve real-world emissions reductions of 40 to 60% compared to gasoline equivalents. But owners who never charge their plug-in hybrids and simply drive them as regular cars actually achieve worse fuel economy than a standard full hybrid, because they are carrying the weight of a large battery pack without capturing any of the benefit. The environmental equation for hybrids is also more nuanced than the simple clean versus dirty framing you hear in mainstream coverage. Manufacturing a hybrid battery pack does carry a higher carbon cost than manufacturing a pure gasoline vehicle. However, life cycle analyses consistently show that a hybrid car offsets that. Manufacturing carbon within 2 to 4 years of driving and continues to generate net emissions reductions for the remainder of its operational life. So is a hybrid worth it? The honest answer is, it depends on 4 things. How much you drive annually. Higher mileage means faster payback. Where you drive most, city driving amplifies the efficiency gains dramatically. Before you go, if you learned something valuable today, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to AutoVision Daily for a brand new video every single day. We will see you in the next one.